Hey everybody, my name is Naravirka, and because I'm not entirely ready to be on camera yet, I figured it would be fun to go through some really old stuff and see if I can't use it to create something new. So the year is 2010. I have just gotten into creating my own music, and I found this program which I'm pretty sure is called MIDI Maker, which I actually did download the installer for, so that's probably a later video. And I made two things, which I called songs at the time, but honestly, I don't remember what they sounded like, and I haven't actually heard them since I created them and uploaded them onto the internet. And that's because when I uploaded them, I didn't upload them as audio files. I uploaded them as MIDI files, which don't actually have their own sound unless you're using a program that can read certain data within the file, which I definitely don't have, and I wouldn't even know how to do because generally I use my DAW with MIDI, and that's the only place I do it. So I thought it would be fun to import these into Mixcraft and see if Mixcraft can in any way discern any information from this. I don't even know if there's going to be notes because I created this with a proprietary piece of software as far as I understand. Let's actually import some of these. So I'm using Mixcraft 9 Pro Studio, and the first one is called Epicness Included. So I'm expecting it to be epic, but it's probably not. Here we go. First time this file's being opened in 13 to 14 years. Oh my gosh, it actually separated all the instruments. That is something I did not expect to happen, but I'm so glad that it did, because it means that I can actually go through each instrument and pick a sound that I think would suit it best. Now, it doesn't actually say whether they were supposed to be bass or strings, but this here kind of looks like it was probably meant to be a hi-hat, maybe. I suppose we'll solo each one by one, and I'll try and get an idea as to what I was going for back then. Yo, hold up a minute. Does it remember the kind of instrument it was using too? Oh my god, it does! It's a whole song already. Okay, let's listen to the first time in a long time. Here we go. Oh god, it's so bad. I didn't know what I was doing back then. There's a lot of dissonance going on. Let's see, what's this one? You can tell that I was just learning how to use this program when I made this. I'd never used anything like it before. So, obviously I'm very unknowledgeable in this situation. But I have a feeling that this was supposed to be a snare. Possibly, but I can't guarantee. I don't remember if I put any drums in any of this. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, no, there we go. There's something at the end, too. I don't know if I actually had an idea in mind. But yeah. I can't believe it separated all these instruments. I can't say that any of these ideas are anywhere near good, but I'm gonna mute these tracks and I'm gonna import the other one and hope that it also separates the instruments. Haha, it did. Oh god, it's way longer. Now this one, just based on the way the MIDI tracks look, I think that I had learned more about how to actually use the program and create like MIDI songs. And I think I may have actually created something that could potentially be worth recreating and using the ideas from. So this is like a droning note. What's this one? That one's also a droning note. Are they all droning notes? I don't know, but this one looks like it could potentially be interesting. Oh man, I just went crazy on this one. Okay, to be fair, I am also in 160 BPM right now. I think the default for a lot of programs is like 120. So perhaps it's a little bit more intelligible and listenable if I like turn the tempo down. Let's try. So slightly more improved, but not good at all. It's slightly more improved, but not really by much. It's definitely using different instruments than were on the original program. So I'm going to go through and pick some like really basic things that I think are what I was trying to go for maybe, or at least just my sort of translation of what I might have been trying to go for like 14 years ago. I was just starting to create music and I had no style. I didn't really understand how songs were put together, so I kind of just picked notes randomly, I guess, and that's how I built stuff up. So I'm a little bit flustered. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be some like long lost treasure, but this is so very bad. And I don't really know what I could do to save any of this. So my original plan was to go through all these patterns, find things that I liked, trying to keep them as original as possible, and create a different song structure and just kind of bring an old thing that I created a long time ago back to life. But it wasn't quite that simple, because back then I didn't really understand what notes sounded good together, how to structure a song. I didn't really understand what a song was built out of. So at the time, I think my judgment was very clouded by the fact that I created my own song, that I wasn't even capable of seeing how bad it sounded, because I didn't really have anything to compare it to, because despite the fact that I was just getting into making my own music, this was actually also my entry into electronic music. I wasn't listening to anything electronic back then, so I didn't even know that was like a real, actual type of music that people created. So obviously I had to change my route, and the new goal was to try and keep the original rhythm of some of these patterns, but actually changing the notes and perhaps even converting some of these notes into chords to create something a little bit more interesting and easy on the ears, because as you heard, this was not easy on the ears. And I came up with something that's actually fairly decent to listen to. It's nothing super full, but despite the fact that it doesn't really sound like the original song anymore, it does have the same sort of rhythm and patterns to it. I just chopped it up, moved things around, created chords, changed notes, and now it's something pretty decent. But before I let you listen to what I came up with, which is 3 minutes long, surprisingly, one of the big reasons I decided to do this video was obviously for me to go dig up an old time capsule that was buried on the internet and take a look at where I started. But the second thing that really made me want to make this video is because despite the fact that I kind of expected it to be better than it actually was, I think it's very important to realize that where you start, it's always going to be bad. There's always going to be tons of mistakes, and most often the first thing you do is not really, at least in your own opinion, worth sharing with the world. But the fact is that I'm a heck of a lot better musician now than I was back then. My ability on creating structure in songs, harmonizing and choosing notes and playing chords is way better than it used to be. And while it took me a very long time to get there, it's because I wasn't exclusively focusing on music for a long time. I've had my sort of attention spread towards too many different things: digital art, traditional art, animation, creating music, creating musical instruments, generalized woodworking, costume building, technology related stuff. Like, I had my attention in like 400 different places, and I would spend like a week working on one thing and then a week working on the other, and it would sometimes take me months to a year to go back to music again. And that's kind of why my abilities as a musician very slowly grew over the years. But I know that if I were to have chosen to spend most of my time on music and basically take a break from music to do the other stuff for fun, I probably would have been a lot farther along on my musical journey by now. But at the end of the day, we all have our own pace. We all start somewhere and improve over time. And I think this is just proof of that. Even though the song I'm Done that I did on this channel a while ago, that I also released on my other YouTube channel, which I'll leave a link to in the description, and the fact that I did Just a Reset, which is a song that I am very, very proud of, those two songs are not up to par to me because I was extremely rusty when I did them. I was just getting back into making music again after years of basically not being able to do it. And now that I've been back in it for a while, the rustiness is gone, and I've actually relearned a bunch of old stuff that I could do, and now I can do it better, and I've even developed new styles and stuff. So I'm really excited for the new album that's coming out. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but there will be updates on this YouTube channel as well as the Naira Virica YouTube channel, which is now the official Naira Virica music channel. This is now the Virica Scale. If you don't know why, I did a post in the community tab, which we now have now, so expect polls and little text updates once in a while. That way, if I'm not uploading videos, you guys can still kind of understand what's going on with me. Anyways, that's about that. If you are getting into making music or creating anything of any kind and you're feeling down on yourself about how good it is, don't worry about it, because where I started, I think I probably could have made the planet explode if that was played on speakers back in the day. Anyways, enjoy the thing that I created in this video. I'm sorry for no real regular videos lately. I'm trying to get back into it. Being on camera is not exactly the most comfortable thing. But anyways, here is the song that is unnamed, that is 3 minutes long. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.